Well, good morning, Get Wrecked for Recovery crew. So it's Palm Sunday and day number 20 of the Redeeming Eden Cycle Tour. RECT, Get Wrecked for Recovery. A 48-state 4-year ride for addiction recovery awareness. Each day I pedal for someone who's passed away from addiction, and the whole end goal is to build a rehab. And this is state number 34, Michigan, on the Ride to RAGBRAI 2022. A 4,500 mile loop around the Midwest, Ohio to Erie Trail, Upper Peninsula, Glacier National, Yellowstone, and back to RAGBRAI the last week of July. And it's all to raise awareness that addiction recovery options are available, that you don't have to die in your addiction. There's churches, Celebrate Recoveries, and rescue missions all over the nation, all over the world, that just want to help you, talk to you, and love you if you find yourself battling addiction. So first thing off the bat this morning, praying for Tommy. I hope that he goes to church today. Oh my goodness, I have been praying for him all week, and this is that Sunday. So, Lord, if it be your will, get that man to church. Second, I had a great zero yesterday. Talked to Eben Corbiere on the phone, and we were kind of just chatting about all the different people that I've met along the way, and even how he was able to meet me in Key West and be up there for the last week in Maine. And we mentioned Vero Beach at Easter last year. You know, it was really neat because I was just looking for a sunrise service and ended up at Roger Ball, Dynamic Life Recovery. And Roger actually passed away over the year last year. And so my heart goes out to his family and all those there at his church and Dynamic Life Recovery. I hated to hear that when I saw it. He was such a man of faith, such a man of God. And just his love is definitely something that one would want to mirror. But then, like, Evan and I were talking about how we were up in Bar Harbor, and the couple walked up and were like, "Were you in Vero Beach at Easter?" And we're like 3,000 miles away. And they were like, "We were there at that service." It's wild. It's absolutely wild. So, anyway, got to watch a little bit of the Masters yesterday. I can't do that today. I have got some pedaling to do, some people to meet, and the weather is phenomenal. Oh, it feels like this week is going to be, I'm going to be in like regular cycling clothes and sandals with no socks. Like, I'm ready for this one. Super ready. This is the spring I was looking for.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
These aren't the droids we're looking for.
You know, so either way, there's a town called Alma, and then there's a town called Mount Pleasant. Alma has a hotel. Mount Pleasant looks like it has a campground. Again, I never really know what's going to end up happening. I just know the plans that I make, and then we kind of see where it goes from there. So, with all that being said, I'm going to get on the road, and you're going to see more of that right about now. right, so yesterday while I was talking to Emily, we were texting back and forth, and she was saying, hey, my dad really wants to meet you. And so I was like, well, okay, I would love that. And so, you know, Garreth, this is Garreth, Emily's dad. He's the one who helped find out how to put me there at the Genesis Outreach. And so as I've kind of pedaled forward, he was like, you know, it's Sunday. I got this motorcycle here. I wanted to get out and do a motorcycle ride, and I wanted to come up and meet you. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, he brought me lunch, and we got to kind of sit over here. It was really neat, too, because he was asking me earlier on the phone. He was like, so where are you at? And I was like, well, I'm on this road, and I'm headed out to this road, and then I'm just going to keep pedaling. And he said, well, I want to bring you lunch. And so I said, well, I'm sure wherever you meet me will be the perfect spot.
And it was. Absolutely.
It absolutely was. We've had this lake view the entire time. I mean, he literally pulled up while I was here. So God's good.
Very good.
Thank you so much again.
You're
for
welcome.
Lunch, for the conversation, for everything. And yeah, God bless you, brother.
Thank you. God bless you.
All right, so I just stopped in here to the China buffet, and they brought me a check for $13.98. And the guy at the counter, when I gave him the 20, said it's only $6 for you today. I looked up your channel, and I think what you're doing is great. So Aston, thank you so much. Man, I'm just a little bit overwhelmed. So I'm gonna keep making my way to Mount Pleasant, and yeah, you'll see more of that right about now. All right, so I just stopped here to take a picture of these windmills, and you can't tell from this angle, but I went back and like dropped down and got this footage to where you can really see like how big these things are above the horizon. Like they are giant even from this far away. Anyway, while I was doing that, I found out that I have a broken spoke on the front of the bike. So when Garreth pulled up, like we both pulled up, and I put the bike parked it, put it on the click stand, and I guess I didn't tighten the brake tight enough, or maybe a wind gust happened, but the bike fell over, and I think one of the buckets hit one of the spokes and broke it. So I'm gonna have to find out where like a bike shop is that might be open tomorrow. I've got an extra spoke, and so maybe I can fix it tonight, but either way I'm gonna need more spokes. Garreth was also telling me a story earlier that they had an RV and he had a flat, and he was like, let's find a place and get a new, tire. I don't want to ride without having a way to replace it. So they drove, and later on another tire went flat, so he had it, so he called the same place, and that time he went back and bought two. So maybe I need to buy a few spokes to get Garreth. Anyway, yeah, I don't have much farther to go, and if you can tell, so I'm going that way. And it is a strong downwind. Like I've gone a lot of miles today, but I don't feel like I've burned many calories at all. Like I've had 20-mile days that have beat me up way harder than anything I've had to put in for today. I mean, I'm just sailing with the breeze. If I could find a place that was 100 miles down the road, I would do a century just for fun. Like I may not have enough daylight, but I would do it. That's how it feels. So anyway, let's keep riding. Well, all right. So, man, I know I'm in a hotel, right? Eben Corbiere yesterday, while I was taking my zeros, sent me some videos, and he asked me if I could compile it, since I love to create and since I make, a YouTube video every day. And he said, I'll be glad to pay you for it. And so he actually paid me personally to cut and edit a video for him. And so when I pulled into Isabella, I'm exhausted, by the way. I think it was 65 miles, and it was flat all day, downwind, but the last 5 became hilly. And you would think with a name like Mount Pleasant, right? I mean, I should have seen that one on my radar. So I pull into town and I pull up Isabella County Fairgrounds, and I actually do all of the digging that I had to do. I had to go through several different websites to finally get to where you find out about camping, and it says open May 1st. I thought when I finished the OTET, seeing all the campgrounds opening on April 1st, that would be the time that they open at this time of year, but unfortunately, not the case. It looks like it's going to be May 1st. I hope there's not a June 1st area of this trip. The good news is, though, it looks like I'm going to be leaving farmlands behind. Mark was telling me yesterday that this middle part of Michigan is flat, and then I'm going to get into some super hilly section in the north part, but it's going to be a lot more forested. And so I was honestly thinking I'm just going to put my tent in one of these cornfields at some point in time. But like I said, good news is I'm getting to forested area of Michigan. Upper Peninsula is desolate, and then going west, I'm hoping maybe after Wisconsin, that Minnesota, and as I get farther west, I'll get back into BLM land, Bureau of Land Management, where you can it's federal land, and since I'm a United States citizen, I own it. We all own it together, so I can use it however I want to, which I did out west quite often, and I'm actually really looking forward to that. Since Eben had paid me to do that, I went ahead and pulled the trigger on this rather than trying to figure out, where to stealth camp in this area. And not only that, so earlier today, one thing that Emily was letting me know yesterday when we were texting was, my dad wants to meet you and he wants to give you something. And he ended up giving me this envelope, and it says, "In everything by prayer," Philippians 4:6. It had $300 in it. So thank you, Garreth. I was honestly getting a little bit worried. I'm a human, I'm walking by faith, doing what I do. But when I don't see it, it's hard. It's hard for me. And so I knew I'm getting into Upper Peninsula, desolate, not going to see many people. I just didn't know how it was going to work. And that the only thing I spend money on is food, lots of food, shelter, and liquids. That's it. And so that should get me a long way. Thank you very much. I am overwhelmed at just how cool today has been, from getting on the bike, pedaling the miles, getting here, everything in between, has just been beautiful. It's been a beautiful day. So I'm going to go ahead and start cutting and editing the video. I've got a ton. I went through all 4 GoPro batteries today. But I've got a ton of footage that I've got to compress and do all the things to. But yeah, so that's it for the day. If you know anybody who's passed away from addiction in any form or fashion, please drop their name in the comments or find me through the Papa link. It's got all the Redeeming Eden social media, and I would love to pedal for your person and celebrate their life with you for a day. If you know anybody who's actively addicted, anybody in general, share this with them. Get Wrecked for Recovery Crew, thank you guys so much for liking each video, commenting on each video, and sharing each video. All those things are going and doing so much in the analytics. So thank you for that. I appreciate you, Get Wrecked for Recovery Crew. Do you know Redeeming Eden is a non-profit ministry through International Gospel Outreach? That link is also in the Papa link. It's in the description. You can go there and find out more about Redeeming Eden and about the Cody Jordan Forever Funeral Fund, which is a fund I set up to help families who lose loved ones to addiction with paying funeral costs. So yeah, here across from, I think it's the University of Central Michigan in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, state number 34. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. I'll see you later. Have a good night.